Welcome to Narrowboat the James Built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Well, today I need to crack on with the cladding in the bow bedroom. You may remember that when the water tank was put in, it was put in on the piss because in order to get the tap and the plug on the tank, it needed to be at a slight angle. So I need to now compensate for that on the for when I put the cladding on. So I need to put like a back piece on the frame so that the cladding can kind of sit nice and firm against that. So that was always going to be the case. There's a few ways of doing this, but I'm just going to use a bit of 9mm ply, which is going to occupy kind of the port side of the frame, and that will square it up, and then I can put the cladding all the way across. So that's the plan there. I need to get myself one more bit of that oak to go right at the top, because what I want to do is to make more of a feature of it. I'm going to trim down those planks at the moment they're 15 centimeters. I want to trim them down to 12s, because then I can fit in 3 planks kind of going up, which I think would look better than just 2 larger ones. And then it obviously will create a lip going over the top, so then the cushion can kind of sit within that, and it'll stop the cushion sliding off or anything like that. And quite frankly, the more oak there is, the better. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Let's crack on. Right, so what I've had to do is build like a frame here. I'm going to scribe it down this side here so it fits in snugly across there. And this is for me to firstly be able to square this bit off, this frame, against the bed. Because if you remember, the water tank was put in at an angle for it to fit in properly. So it will allow me to square that off, and then shimmy that bit up a bit, up to there once I've scribed down that angle. And then, yeah, I can affix the boards to it. And then from the back side here, around that side, I'm able to secure this piece of 9mm ply into the bed frame here and easily onto the frame of the observation area. Right, well, this is not going to win any design awards, but in fairness, it's kind of worked. This is a piece of 9mm ply. I've roughly scribed it out on the side of the wall. Obviously that's where the step arrangement's going to be, so that's all going to be hidden anyway. But the important thing was to make sure I had a square line against the bed and the upper part of that in order for the oak panels to be going this way. So I haven't quite kind of worked this out fully yet, because obviously the tongues need to come out, and that's a bit too wide for that bit there. But I'm going to want this to be kind of higher than the base of that to allow for the cushion, and then what I'm thinking is kind of a nice kind of carved step away bit to just make it easier to get on. But to do that, I'm going to have to kind of start cutting these boards down, because really what I'd like to do is maybe get 3, or dare I say even 4 horizontal lines in this bit here, just to make it a bit more, I know, a bit more of a feature of it. So I'm going to take all this back to the workshop and run it through the saw and turn this into thinner planks and take off the tongues. There's all these really massive nails in here as well from when it was laid down as flooring. I've tried getting some of them out, but that's not proving that easy either. So if I was to rip the boards, then I don't have to worry about doing that, which saves me a bit of time. And on these ones here, as much as I could cut them down and turn them into kind of oak tiles, I'd like them as long boards, these facing ones, these top ones. So I need to see if I can cut these to size on the scribe them to the edge, so it looks right and I get the right fit. But that's the plan for the minute. gone any better. Not only have I got myself some really fancy kindling, bless him, Ian chopped all this stuff up for me. So I just have to stand there and hold the ends through. Right. Whilst I got the boat out, I think I might go to the marina. There's something there for me. Right, now I've brought them back in and put them in place. Well, obviously not in place, but put them up against one another without the tongues and grooves, just goes together like planks. That's going to look amazing. Still need to do quite a lot of sanding to all of this lot. But the height of this now, trimmed like this, is 880. And the height of that unit there is 830. So then this is going to stand a little bit proud of that. I don't want it to sit too high, this, because obviously it's going to be anchored to that. So I want it to be nice and secure. Right, got to carry on sanding now. This is my last board now, so I'm just sanding these down for the last time, going over with some 80 grit again, just to get these sides nice, these edges nice and kind of plain down, and then going over with a 120 grit just to kind of give it a decent finish before I put the oil or wax on it or whatever I do. Right, go and have another cup of tea and have a look at that box from the marina. Quite excited by that. Well, I went to the marina to get this. I've got to say, I'm expecting something from Saki Bugger. I'm quite excited by this. So let's see what this is. Not easy to get into. Type R. Oh my god. Mate, that is amazing. Oh, it's an antique one as well. Oh, that, what can I say? I mean, I'm right to be excited by this. I mean, I go to so far to say is, Saki Bugger, you have totally given me the horn. Oh, look at that antique horn. Isn't that a beauty? 12 volt horn type R. Oh, that is going to sound amazing. A vintage horn. Ooh gaga, ooh gaga sound. Bring back the good old memories. Fantastic. Mate, cheers for that. Appreciate it. Right, I'm just rigging this up now, just because I'm interested in it. I haven't got my right bits with me, but I do have a battery. So as long as it's got enough voltage in it, and we'll see. Negative. Okay. positive. Okay, I haven't got a switch on this. Let's see what it sounds like. Well, thank you so much, Psyche Viger. That was brilliant. Quite loud. I think they'll hear me coming. Now, I think this is mounted through one bolt there, but all of this stuff surely has got to be inside the boat, and it can't sit on the boat like that. That would be madness. It's got to kind of come out the boat like that, looking like something out of a cartoon. I might have to make a box to go on top of the boat for this to sit in. Definitely at the front. I don't want this thing anything near the back. I've built the frame of the step arrangement, which is going to go kind of, well, there basically. Is going to be a lid to that, which might be out of oak as well. The side's just going to be painted. Maybe this facing side here will be oak clad, the same as that. So now I'm going to start putting my boards down there. I'm going to see if I can conceal the screws. On this side they're going to be concealed by the door going in, by the drawer, sorry. That's going to hide that because there's going to be an 18mm face on this drawer here. So as long as I put the screws in the oak panel there, then that's going to be hiding it on that side. On this side here, haven't quite worked that out yet. The normal way of doing this would be to start at the bottom and work your way up. I can't do that though because of the nails inside the boards. We had to rip them down, so these are all 110mm wide each, or tall each. Therefore, because I want this one here, this board, and this one, those three planks there, are crucial for the kind of aesthetics of it all. Underneath here, kind of as you go lower, it's kind of less so. This bottom one's going to have to be slightly less high than these ones. So if these are 110, I think that's got to be 90. So it's not going to be that noticeable. I might put it up there, but anyway, one of those has got to be 90. You'll see here, this board is just a temporary one, just to give me the height for these two, because these need to be scribed to the side of the wall. So that's the one I had to do. And now I've got to do the same with this one here. And it's quite tricky taking the measurements of this, because if I take the lower measurement, I've got to take into account obviously the height, because I want it nice and tight right at the top. Right, so on this one here, I want to scribe basically a bit like that, and take off that kind of triangle. But because of the shape of the wall is curved as well, I also want to taper or mitre the angle of the cut. So much like I did before, I'm going to hold the jigsaw that way, and it just basically gives me more tolerance. It's a tighter fit, but it does give me a bit more tolerance basically. So I'm just doing bit by bit. I'll offer that up. So basically I just need to keep going on that trajectory. scribed and cut these top 3 boards. They're not in position yet, or they haven't been fixed in position, but they're ready for that. Next piece there to go in there. Well, here we go. All the boards have been cut. I've still got to do the facing side here, but I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I think when they're all fitted in place, that is going to be a really nice feature. But I'm definitely going to cut out a little area here just to make it slightly easier for the little ones to get on. And then I've got to work out something to do with the top to kind of disguise these braces I've had to make and things. But that was definitely worth the time and effort put into it. Right, well, here it is. All the bits are in place. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. This bit here is kind of covering all those screw lines nicely. And those screws there will all be hidden by the fascia put on there. So that's kind of going to be, as you're looking at it, yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I just need to finish up and kind of tidy up and then cut away those bits there. So yeah, that's gone well. This was definitely worth the time and the effort to get these oak planks looking like this. Kind of 2 days work to get the grass, the bird shit and the soil off them. But it's just such beautiful material to work with. So it's just been a pleasure really. But it was a one-time thing. I didn't want a temporary fix for this. I wanted something to look the part as well. And the fact you can see it from the galley and from the dinette is really nice. And so once I've cladded that bottom step as well, that is going to be kind of a nice thing to observe from the kind of the back of the boat. Not to mention it gives a nice headrest for the bed. All of these upper battens have been screwed in from the back, so that was the other reason I wanted to put that kind of back support on there, is because it meant I could attach all of these without putting any screws through the facing side of it. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Anyway, until next time, look after yourselves. Bye bye.